Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Match Day. And my colleague and boss, Ian Barker. And with us today, we have Dave Simeone. Dave is a United Soccer Coaches education instructor, former U.S. soccer instructor, and still does some U.S. soccer courses, the grassroots. Dave has just an enormous amount of experience in the game. He coached the 99ers with the late Tony DiCicco. So we might talk to him a little bit about that and his experiences there. But welcome, Dave. And I think we're going to touch a little bit on player development and maybe just some ideas going forward what clubs can do. So welcome.
Thanks so much. It's great to see both you and Ian. I'm glad everybody is safe and everybody's trying to kind of find their way through this, and it's a pleasure to be with you.
Thank you. So let's just go back in history a little bit. So you're with the 99ers, the famous, women's national team that set the trend. And any like funny stories or anything that, you never saw, in Soccer America or anything like that? Any that come out to you? I mean, the coaching staff was who? You, Tony DiCicco, Jay Hoffman. Was it Jeff Pill as well?
Jeff Pill was, in there too. So, most of what I take from those experiences that was unique, Vince, was that with all of the programming now that's evolved in the women's game, with national teams, with club teams, the different platforms of competition, everybody needs to remember that really a lot of that did not exist, that at that time, Olympic development programs, regional teams, and for the senior players, the big events to look forward to were the Olympic sports festivals.
Mm-hmm.
And so much of what happened in the 4-year quadrennial cycle of World Cups, players were on self-training programs. They were training with men and boys club teams. They were so vested in achieving their goals by going away and involving themselves when there was no residence program and there were only camps and friendlies, that it spoke with input from everybody, and they had a lot of ownership in their development individually of the team, and then finally of the outcome of winning a World Cup. So a lot of credit goes to those players.
Yeah. So we talk a lot. Obviously, they blazed the path for all women. That continue to play on after them. So compare us to then to where we're at now. Differences? Do you see the same? Because you experience as a coach. So 99ers versus the 2019 version.
Well, it's, the competitive world of soccer has expanded. It hasn't contracted. It's pros and cons. The older versions of competitive leagues, let's say in Dallas, where I spent a lot of time, was under 12s, under 14s, under 16s, 6 teams of Division I, 6 teams of Division II versus the early 90s when it went to single birth years. And in going to single birth years, it then it widened the scope. It was much more inclusive than it was, and there's good features of that. But now, obviously, the environment's also more fragmented with different platforms. So there's Development Academy, the ECNL. We still have the USYSA Region League and National League. So it is very challenging now to get players more organized into one platform and build quality into that. I think that's one of the challenges in our environment.
Yeah, no, it's good. And I put you on the spot with that one. So sorry about that. But so let's go on to what you're currently doing now. So you are with the league in, is it like Oklahoma? Is that like in the Panhandle, Oklahoma, or
Well, it's
what league is that?
it's one of U.S. Club Soccer's 12 or 13 national premier leagues, and so they're pretty regionally oriented. Right now, it's the Oklahoma component where we just added um, the old Oklahoma Football Club, the Oklahoma Energy. So that's a state association now under U.S. Club Soccer, the OPC, the Oklahoma Premier Clubs. There's an APC, which is the Arkansas Premier Clubs. And then there's the evolving bigger footprint in North Texas, where things are going to be evolving and incorporating more of the membership into U.S. Club from that environment. So it's a regional based league with some state components. As the technical director, I'm trying to assist the membership in building out the competitive components.
Mhm.
We're also planning coaching education. We're trying to get the league to a point where it's evolving competitively.
Okay, good. No, thanks. So speaking of, your role as a technical leader, so you're indirectly, directly, maybe involved with all these players, right? So now we're in this situation where we're all stuck inside and we're, quarantined. So we were talking earlier prior to this, and we were talking prior to this, and basically we were talking about, okay, so when we eventually get to some normalcy, then what, right? So what advice would you give, and what direction?
I think it's really interesting right now. I ran across a quote this week that is so appropriate. It's that all great changes are preceded by chaos. So obviously, everybody, MLS, NWSL, college coaches, club coaches, I talked to my uh, peers and colleagues abroad. They're having the same issues. It's like this could be a huge reset. And the club coaches, the pro coaches, the college coaches have all done a really, really innovative job of connecting with the players, trying to bridge with technology. You see it with the college coaches and how they're dealing with transfer and the transfer portal and recruiting. Club
Mm.
coaches are going to come up on it here in the next month or two when they're going through tryouts, when they're going through team formations. It shows us in some ways how much we're not in total control of the environment. And so technology's enabled us to kind of bridge this gap right now. But eventually, when we get back with our teams, our clubs, our programs, I hope one of the things that we've learned is that as much as technology has helped us, it's not going to be the total answer, that we're still, through the sport of soccer and in this endeavor of player development, we're still dealing with people and the person to person interaction with not only players, but people as colleagues within our clubs, within our programs, parental interaction. I think it ought to give everybody a moment of pause to think about that, how hard this is to do totally with technology, that we need face-to-face interaction for a number of different reasons. And that's what we're going to get back to eventually. And I hope we appreciate this kind of journey that we've been through where we've just had this severance, we've had the gap, and now we're back with our teams and our colleagues and our parents and in a person-to-person environment. And I hope it gives us an appreciation of all of it.
Okay, no, thank you. So, Coach, we got about 5 minutes left in this. So, Coach Barker, do you have any questions, or maybe we pose the same question you did to Coach Gallimore today about mid-season and how long do you think?
First of all, I want to give a shout out to the 99 group and some of that history, because I was a candidate on a coaching course circa 1992 when Anson Dorrance, with April Heinrichs as the coach, and Shannon Higgins and Michelle Lake, a group of women, won the World Cup in China in 91. And I remember telling Anson that a few of us had sort of been following it and were really happy for him. But it wasn't a very big story in this country relative. And then just 8 years later, you've got full stadiums in Pasadena. And I know, as we all do, had a chance to talk to Hank Steinbrecher, who was the general secretary of US Soccer at the time. And when the Americans bid, the US Soccer Federation bid for the World Cup, they said what stadiums they wanted, and FIFA couldn't believe that the Americans aspired to fill stadiums for women's soccer. And then US Soccer, to its immense credit, and the American public and the team were able to fill all those stadiums to capacity. And so I just have that image of 99, all of the 12 and 13-year-old girls in the stadiums, which obviously became another generation of female college players when there was more college opportunities. So, you know, we live in a world now where our women's soccer, at least in the youth game for sure, is on a par with our boys, and our participation numbers of girls are higher. And that has a ton to do with 99. So Coach DeChico, Brandy Chastain, Julie Foudy, all of the players and staff, that's a really important time for US soccer. And it's amazing that it's really, you know, less than 30 years ago, but that's how, or 20 years ago, excuse me, but it was slightly more, but it was that big a deal. So 99 was an important time for football in this country.
Yeah, I just to piggyback real quick, like I'm sure many of you remember where you were when, you know, the U.S. won the Miracle on Ice. You know, for those of you that were alive then, you know, I remember I was just watching a little black and white TV, and it was actually delayed. It wasn't live. And same thing with the 99 World Cup. I mean, I know exactly where I was when Brandy Chastain hit the penalty. And, you know, I was at Notre Dame soccer camp, and it's just one of those games and moments that really just transformed just soccer in this country, not just for women, but for men too. I mean, it was such an impactful moment, and you were a part of that. So anyway, I'm sure that's always something that you'll feel very proud of. But,
I was very fortunate, and thinking about prior to 99, all of the kids that came through, like Mia and Carla Overbeck, and knowing those kids through their youth experiences and seeing it pay off there. I mean, it's the same phenomenon for me as with the under-19s that won in 2002 in Edmonton, where Sarah Huffman and Kelly Wilson, among others, that grew up playing for us in North Texas, and then being there with the under-19s and winning that Youth World Cup, to see that journey was impactful for me.
Yeah, good. Coach Barker, anything else? If not, we can start wrapping it up here.
Yeah, David, what are the coaches in your league doing right now? Are they bombarding the kids with reminders and things to do and videos and fitness routines and training routines, or are they letting them breathe a little bit? Because it seems like, including this webinar, we're like inundating people with content now because we're all so desperate for contact and connection. But it occurs to me pretty soon here, we're going to have to back off and let people breathe a little bit too.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that, because I've talked to not only coaches, but just educators in the school system, and they've had to transition into this online thing. And it's a huge management piece when your kids are at home and trying to learn through the school system online, and parents are supervising that maybe haven't homeschooled before. I think it's the same phenomenon with, as you aptly put, we're inundating them. So I think finding that balance where it's, you know, it's going to require balance where you just can't smother people, and they're going to see it more as an impediment or an infringement rather than an opportunity to give them ownership of what they are doing. I think that, to me, is the balance of it all. You now have some ownership in what you are doing, what you choose to do with it, without us being over the top of you. But as far as the coaches in the Red River NPL, it is kind of all over the place. The coaches in general are trying to be helpful with players. They're trying to keep them connected, and achieving that balance, I think, is a little bit challenging.
Yeah, what you said is right aligned with what Coach Gallagher was talking about today: ownership and empowerment, and players. Now it's their time to kind of own up a little bit too. In addition to coaches, reflecting and thinking about ways that they can get better and improve as well. So, Coach, we have gone over time, and I owe you. So, but thank you so much for taking your time. You're in beautiful Phoenix, right? Or Tucson? Tucson. So the temperature is what there?
It's about 82 degrees today.
Oh, geez, Pete. Okay, well that's good.
I'm struggling, Vince, in a big way.
Well, thank you so much, and I appreciate again your time. And for those that are on the webinar watching today, thank you so much. You saw two legends. You listened to two legends seriously, and I mean that sincerely. Present some really good information that we hope that you can use. And tomorrow we're going to have Rusty Oglesby, high school coach, currently in Texas. Because we have the high school coaches that are also going through a lot of stuff as well. And then we're also going to have Ian's better half, Tess, talking about resume development. So that'll be at 4:00 tomorrow. So we hope you can join us, and be healthy, everybody. Be safe, and we'll hopefully see some of you tomorrow, if not all.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, Vince.
Thanks, Dave.
Thank you.